Well, I really think you have a lot of paid agitators, professional agitators in here, too, and I see it all over. And, when you see signs and they're all identical, that means they're being paid by a source. These aren't hand-painted signs where people would go to their basement and paint something because they really believed it. These are all signs that are identical. They're made by the same printer. And, when you see that, that means there's somebody at top that's paying or a group that's paying, and they're doing great.
Yeah. Now, I just talked about this I think it was just yesterday, actually. And one of the questions I asked in that video was just that. Are there paid actors? Like, is this like a legitimate thing, or, are these people being funded? And we have some new information. So, yes, I have to double back to the same exact story, but you guys are not going to want to miss this one. Trust me. It's good. Okay. It is really, really good. All right. Now I do want to say thank you guys for all of the continued love and support. I greatly appreciate every single last one of you guys. All of the likes, all of the shares, the comments. All right. It helps out tremendously. Get these videos out. So I do want to say thank you. And with that being said, let's dive in.
I have to say, these 10 cities that they're building across college campuses are crazy, but are really well organized. And I had to look into this to understand who's behind all of this and who's paying all these people. I have to be honest, what I found was not really shocking, but I was surprised by how similar it is to the BLM summer riots of 2020. You see, these encampments are actually really well organized. The students receive the tents from organizers that also supply a bunch of different food like pizzas, rotisserie chicken, coffee. So I looked into who these organizers actually are, and there are three prominent groups. Students for Justice in Palestine, there's Within Our Lifetime, and then there's Jewish Voices for Peace. And these groups are actually led and organized by another organization called U.S. Campaign for Palestinian Rights. And just guess how much these fellows are paid. They get $7,800 if they work 8 hours a week on some kind of Palestinian campaign. Makes you rethink what the hell you're doing with your life. And across these campuses, we've seen these fellows speak out at various events. Nita Laffey, Craig Morton, Malik Afina. So where the hell does USCPR even get this money to pay these fellows that much money? And who funds Students for Justice in Palestine and these other organizations? Here's where it really gets interesting. Almost all of their funding comes from rich, elite investors such as George Soros, Howard Horowitz, and members of the Rockefeller family. And isn't that ironic on its own? You see, George Soros' Open Society Foundation, along with Rockefeller's Brother Fund, gave $700,000 to these organizations. And we know now that the Open Society Foundation isn't run by George Soros anymore. It's actually run by his brother, Alex Soros, and his partners, Huma Abedin, with direct ties to the Muslim Brotherhood. As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Now, the Open Society Foundation also funneled $20 million into the Tide Foundation. And the Tide Foundation takes this money and disperses it across all of these organizations across the U.S. They funnel money into Westpac, which is an organization that is led by Howard Horowitz. And Westpac is actually the fiscal sponsor for Within Our Lifetime. And guess what? All of these organizations have direct ties to the 2020 Summer Love riots. So the question I have to ask is why? Why now? Why again in the summer before a presidential election?
Boy, can I not wait until Uncle Trump walks back into that White House and we can get this thing back on the right track. This stuff has gotten ridiculous. Paying for people to go out and protest, that's, in my opinion, that should be illegal. You're paying for unrest in America that's not even genuine, right? Allegedly, of course. You're paying for that? That's just ridiculous. It's so annoying. These people literally don't even know why they're out there. They're just there, just there. And here's a picture of what Uncle Trump was talking about when he said there's just a bunch of signs that have been printed out, it looks like out of the same printer. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. And they're like bundled up. You see that? So someone was like making these in mass and then just shipped them all to the campus. I don't know what these are over here, but they've got looks like they've got some type of cover on them, some type of bag, right? Like this is organized. Like he said, these aren't folks who just went in their basement and grabbed a big cardboard sign and wrote something on it because they were angry, because they were passionate. Like, this is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And listen, I want to show you guys this clip. I think I showed you guys this clip yesterday, but this also proves it. Check out this clip of this young lady. And this perfectly proves what I just said. Check it out.
And what would you say is the main goal with tonight's protest?
I think the goal is just showing our support for Palestine and demanding that NYU stops. I honestly don't know all of what NYU is doing.
Is there something that NYU is doing?
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure they're... Do you know what NYU is doing? About what? About Israel. Why are we protesting here?
Palestine will be free!
I wish I was more educated. I'm not either. I came from Columbia. I was there up at Columbia, and we came down. They said NYU students needed our support. So I came down. I heard there's lots of cops. Some people were saying it was getting dangerous.
And what...
People said NYU students needed our support, so we came down. Why are we here protesting? What are we... They don't even know why. But, you know, there is one bit of really, really crazy news that came out of all of this entire situation. Check out this clip. Your jaw is going to drop.
I want to read a statement that we just got from Columbia. A little after 9 p.m. this evening, the NYPD arrived on campus at the university's request. This decision was made to restore safety and order to our community. We regret that protesters have chosen to escalate the situation through their actions. After the university learned overnight that Hamilton Hall had been occupied, vandalized, and blockaded, we were left with no choice. Columbia Public Safety personnel were forced out of the building, and a member of our facilities team was threatened. We will not risk the safety of our community or the potential for further escalation. The leadership team, including the Board of Trustees, met throughout the night and into the early morning, consulting with security experts and law enforcement to determine the best plan to protect our students and the entire Columbia University community. We made the decision early in the morning that this was a law enforcement matter and that the NYPD were best positioned to determine and execute an appropriate response. This is interesting. We believe that the group that broke into and occupied the building is led by individuals who are not affiliated with the university. Sadly, this dangerous decision followed more than a week of what had been productive discussions with representatives of the West Lawn encampment. It goes on to talk about the security precautions that they're taking on campus.
Did you hear that last little bit? People that were breaking in weren't affiliated with the campus at all. Those weren't students. And actually, I came across, I want to show you guys this, because a lot of the folks were arrested on these campuses. And so, of course, they found out who a lot of these folks were.
Sandra? John, Fox News alert. This just in from our reporter, CB Cotton. These are live pictures of UCLA. We're getting some word out of New York City where NYPD sources are confirming to her about the protests here that 282 people were arrested Tuesday night at Columbia University and City College of New York. 134 of them were not affiliated with either school. That is nearly half. 148 did have an affiliation, but oh, by the way, an affiliation is not necessarily a current or full-time student.
Some of these folks clearly were not students, but because everyone was wearing, you know, the face mask, a lot of people were wearing some type of head cover as well on top of that. So all you got to see was just the eye slit. They got to blend in with students and were just agitating and egging these students on. Even in one clip, you saw an older lady showing the students how to pin a metal picnic table up against the door to barricade it. Yeah, incredible stuff. But one of the things that did come out of this that was great was this moment here. You can see the pro-Israel and pro-Palestine on both sides. And of course, you got officers here, so nobody's clashing. Nobody's throwing any hands or bottles or anything to hurt anyone in this video clip. But what they are saying is honestly amazing. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. The only thing great that Biden has done is unite this country against him. Check out this video clip. So you just heard there, both sides, people flying a Palestinian flag, as you can see right there. And then on the other side, you can see the Israel flag right there. And then you can see the American flag. You can see another one here. Both sides chanting the exact same thing. FJB. Beautiful thing, ain't it? Beautiful thing. And with that, peace and love, family. I'm out.